Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?
I have been every voice.
You are the chosen one! Anakin! Anakin!
This is where the fun begins.
Inside your head.
Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video we're going to be talking about the Ahsoka Tano series, The Mandalorian Season 3 and more. But first my dear warriors of Clan Meg, before I dive into the news, please may I ask you to hit that big red subscribe button if you've not done so, and also be sure to give that bell a good old tickle to be alerted each and every time that I post new content. So as I've said before guys, we are on the road to 60,000 subscribers and I will be doing a special when we do reach that milestone, so do please subscribe and stick around for that. But without much further ado and without any more jibber jabber, let's just dive straight into it. So we have possible casting news for Star Wars Ahsoka. There haven't been many updates on the planned Ahsoka Tano series for some time, but it looks as though the Star Wars show is already deep into development and it's been confirmed that there are already some interesting casting calls. In addition to that, the plot details that have been revealed tease the return of Grand Admiral Thrawn. Now though, we have even more news. The Diz Insider has revealed that there are two new casting calls for Ahsoka. The first one is for a character called Boka, who is supposedly a very strong-minded and independent natural leader. For this new character, Lucasfilm is looking for a boyish-looking actor of one of the following ethnicities: Middle Eastern, African, Pacific Islander, African American, mixed ethnicity, or West Indies Caribbean. And they're looking for someone between the ages of 20 and 35. While we can't confirm who this character is at this point, it's very interesting indeed, and recently it was teased that Mena Massoud will be playing Ezra. As for who this Boka character is, we'll just have to find out, but it could very well be a character that we already know. So exciting things are happening for this show and others in the Star Wars universe. It's been a fortnight packed with news and I've loved every second of it. So now my dear Mandalorians, we're going to be talking about the time jump between Season 2 and Season 3 of Mando and how it affects the Book of Boba Fett. So here's an article from Inverse, but before we dive into it, I just want to preface it by saying that we've spoken a lot about the Mandalorian's connection to the Book of Boba recently, and with all of the rumours to do with Mando characters showing up in Boba, it's brought about a lot of questions. I've also discussed the idea of a time jump in quite a lot of depth, but this article goes further to explain the reasoning for why Lucasfilm need a time jump between Seasons 2 and 3 of Mando, and how the Book of Boba Fett actually facilitates that. So as I stated the other day, it's believed that Din Djarin, Cobb Vanth, Greef Karga and Migs Mayfeld are all going to make appearances in the Book of Boba Fett, with an unconfirmed rumour about Grogu also showing up. But don't be mistaken, because all of this isn't fan service, but rather a long-term plan to help the Mandalorian move away from the themes and overall tone of Seasons 1 and 2. Time jumps are something that both Jon Favreau and Pedro Pascal hinted for the upcoming 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. It's my belief that Dave Filoni might be using the Book of Boba as a leverage to bridge the gap between Seasons 2 and 3, because his plans for Season 3 was that it takes place a long time after the events of the Season 2 finale. Lucasfilm must have realised that it doesn't make sense to have a time jump between seasons without explaining what happened in between, and so it's likely that they're using the Book of Boba Fett to fill in the blanks and answer some questions before Din Djarin takes centre stage again next year for Season 3. It's also very likely that the Book of Boba is going to end on a cliffhanger related to Pedro Pascal's character, and this will smoothly lead us into The Mandalorian Season 3. In my mind, that's the likely reason why they're bringing back all of these characters from The Mandalorian, but the reason could also be more simple than that. Lucasfilm might just be trying to connect the roots of both shows through the use of familiar faces. So now let's take a look at how this article articulates things and what they put forward. For Star Wars fans, The Mandalorian was just the beginning. Aside from the animated series like The Bad Batch and Star Wars Visions, the live-action offerings are creating a universe to rival the Skywalker saga itself. However, while The Mandalorian has held down the fort for 2 seasons now, we won't get Season 3 until 2022. The next Star Wars show on the docket is the Book of Boba Fett this winter, and it could be replacing The Mandalorian in more ways than just the time slot. According to leaker Jordan Mason, and later expanded on with Mason's permission by YouTube channel KRT, not only is Din Djarin himself going to appear, but also other beloved characters, and these are the ones I went through the other day, guys. While the news of Din's appearance was exciting enough, these additional roles throw Mando's own appearance into a whole new light. While a Pedro Pascal cameo could be a fun addition to the show, appearances from all of these other characters seem to hint that there'll be more than just a quick stop by Jabba's palace. So these characters playing a bigger role in the Book of Boba has some huge implications on The Mandalorian Season 3, but also the Mandoverse in general. Either these characters won't be appearing in Season 3 at all, or Season 3 won't be picking up where Season 2 left off, but rather sometime after the Book of Boba Fett. A time jump between Seasons 2 and 3 could be just the thing that the show needs. Because Season 2 left off with Grogu being carried off by Luke for Jedi training, the series needs time for Mando to realise the training he worked so hard to find for Grogu may have been a mistake. Basically, Mando needs time to miss his own son, who is away at a sort of summer camp. In that between time, Din could help Boba Fett form a new empire on Tatooine alongside his friends. This would not only fill a gap in the Mandalorian timeline, but entice fans of The Mandalorian to tune in for the new spin-off as well. With so many of the same characters there, it's bound to be very similar. So as this article correctly points out, Grogu is another big factor. We don't really know if they're going to show his training on screen. We don't even know if we're going to see Luke Skywalker again. But if it is true that the Book of Boba Fett is a kind of Season 2.5 for Mando, then the big question is, where is Bo-Katan, and will the conflict to do with the Darksaber be resolved? Again, this is something that could be shown off screen and just explained in a quick line in the Book of Boba Fett or even The Mandalorian Season 3. But it does seem like the Season 2 finale set up a big conflict between Din Djarin and Bo-Katan in an upcoming season, but we can't be certain of what we're going to get. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. So finally, my friends, we're going to be talking about the High Republic, because Star Wars has announced 4 new High Republic books. Wave 2 of the High Republic has been announced to start hitting shelves this summer, with 4 new book titles announced for fans to enjoy. According to /film, new details have been given about the release dates on the new wave of Star Wars novels set during the High Republic era. Dubbed Wave 2, the flagship novel The Rising Storm by Cavan Scott is a sequel to Light of the Jedi and will hit shelves on June 29th. I find it really funny that they've named this one The Rising Storm because there's already The Approaching Storm, which is now of course Legends material, but The Approaching Storm, not the upcoming Rising Storm, is a phenomenal book, and I really recommend you guys read it if you're a fan of Luminara and Julie. So the other titles include Race to Crash Point Tower, a middle grade novel by Daniel Jose Older. They have Out of the Shadows by Justina Ireland, and that's a YA novel, and that's coming out on July the 22nd. And then we have Showdown at the Fair, an 8x8 story by George Mann, and that one focuses on the Wookiee Jedi Buryaga, which will hit shelves on October 5th. So that, my friends, is the end of today's news update. I really hope you enjoyed it. And before I go, I just want to say that today I am on Jamie Stangroom's channel. Do check him out. He's also known as The Geekend. I recorded a short segment for that video. I will be posting a link in the comments down below. So as always, guys, if you enjoyed this one, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, do all that good stuff down below. And also, if you're feeling generous, please consider becoming a patron, where for just $2 or $10 a month, you can get exclusive access to content that's not found here on YouTube. And that includes my podcast, my Star Wars Explained series, and my Forgotten Characters series. I'm Star Wars Meg, wishing you all a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.